Okay.
But I put together a little intro. We'll go ahead and see how that works out for us.
Okay, good.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here it comes. Malmö! Are you ready? It's back, Saturday, August 27th in Beijers Park. Hoppapalooza 2022. Craft beer, live entertainment, food trucks, and more craft beer. Mark your calendar, August 27th, 2022, Beijers Park, Malmö. Free entree, bring a friend or make new ones at the event. But whatever you do, don't miss Hoppapalooza.
Thank you. That was excellent. Excellent.
What do you think, Jeff?
I thought that was an excellent intro. I wish I could do that.
Okay. Jeffrey, welcome back. We had you on the show about 9 months ago, and we'll go ahead and make sure that there's some links so that people can go back and listen to your story and everything behind it. But right now, we're going to go ahead and focus on a pretty big event that you have coming up down there in Malmö. Is this the first one since our brief?
Yeah, it's the first one since 2019.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, we had a time off. People kept writing me, asking me, "Are we going to have Hoppapalooza? Can we please have it?" And it was just no. It's just too irresponsible to have a mass event with lots of people during a pandemic.
Yeah.
So there's nothing we could do but wait it out.
Right.
And
and people have been waiting. They've been requesting, and I can just imagine that over the last couple of years. I mean, the energy's building.
Yes.
We got amazing weather. You got everything. You got all the components.
Yeah, I hope it works out. It's like we got all the components, but there's still a lot of if factors kind of going on there.
Right.
But yeah, I think we got everything set up. I've got some excellent bands this year. I've got a couple of hard rock bands, Yammerdal, Die Damp, and then I've got more like a punk band, which is the Boatsmen, and then I've got kind of instrumental new age rock called Säger som mot det slutet. Yeah, and you can Google them. They've got YouTube videos. And then I've got Sunny Taylor. She was on Idol and came right to the end. She's really good, has a fantastic voice.
Okay.
And then in the evening, I've got Mans Persson Petite Big Band. And so I've got jazz to finish it off. So we've got some excellent music. Yeah. I've got some great food trucks. We're doing the veggie burgers as usual.
Right.
And it's a lot of vegetarian food for this event.
Fantastic. Now the focus is the focus on craft breweries from southern Sweden.
No, we're open to anywhere in Sweden. The focus is just on local craft beer. But as it turns out, there's so many in southern Sweden that want to come that
Okay.
Yeah, but I actually have one from Denmark. Hoppe. He comes. He loves it. And I had a couple earlier. I've got a few from Gothenburg. But
now, Jeffrey, when was the original? When was the original Hoppapalooza?
Well, the original was actually our 1 year anniversary, which was 2013, July 2013, and that was just a big party. I did a free 1 day party. I gave free beer and free food, which I later found out was completely illegal.
Right. Okay.
And then after that, the second year, which was 2014, was the first one where we had 7 breweries.
Okay.
And we had talked about doing something for the local craft beer because everything revolved around Spendrups and the big beer festivals and Carlsberg. And, they pay for it, so it's their party.
Right.
And so, but it's kind of risky. It's a lot of money, and you don't really know that people are going to show up. So the first year, all the breweries agreed that if there was losses, we would all share them.
Yeah.
But it worked out. We profited, and it always has. We don't make a lot of money, but we do profit, and so it's not a loss. Is the main thing.
Okay. Well, I mean that's the main thing. Everybody's happy.
Yeah. The first years you would get a T-shirt that says Hoppapalooza. You would get a beer glass, and the entry was $2.50 to cover all the costs.
Sure.
And then once people were inside, all beers were 20 kroners. But now we've got our costs more in control, and so now the festival is free. It's free to come in, and then you buy a beer glass for 50 kroner, and then you get to keep it, and that pays for the security guards. and the
Okay.
security guards are like 4,000 each,
Right.
and
Right.
I need 8.
You need to go ahead and cover
Yeah,
and cover
yeah.
that.
And so that, and the toilets and the tables and the fences and the electrical, those are our big expenses.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're actually going to have toilets? I mean,
Yes,
okay,
yes,
that's
yes,
pretty
yes.
good.
We have a row
That's
of porta potties
that
out
is
about,
okay.
yeah, 50 meters away, and people walk out there, and there's a small line, and yeah.
Okay, okay. A quick question for those people that haven't had the pleasure of attending a Hoppapalooza in the past. What are some recommendations that you could give first comers that or newcomers that are coming to the event?
Oh, it's super easy. Just come on down, take a bus or ride a bike, and maybe bring some bottled water or drink some water. Stay hydrated. It's usually warm. You drink a lot of beer.
Yeah.
At this festival, unlike the Malmö Beer and Whiskey Festival, people don't get roaring drunk.
Right.
This is more like connoisseurs of fine craft beer that are
Sure.
Instagramming and doing Twitter tweets
Sure.
and Facebook posts about it and
Right.
taking lots of pictures and
Yeah.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
tasting barrel aged saisons and chocolate
Nice.
porters and all different kinds of
Oh.
things. Yeah,
Right. Yeah, we got done with all the other stuff around midsummer.
yeah,
This is for people that actually want to come out and enjoy
yeah.
and enjoy.
But in the past, we've had coins, and this
Mm.
is the first year actually we're going with this company called Go, and they have it's going to be an app on your phone that you
Okay.
load, and you can pay it with Klarna if you want, and so you don't have to pay it. You can just open your Klarna account and spend all day and get a factura the next month if you want. Or
Yeah.
if you want to put your card on it, what's good about this is what you don't spend, you can get back.
Okay.
So we're using this Go app, and there'll just be QR codes at the stands, and all the breweries will have a reader, and they'll just hit the QR code, hit your card, boom, comes out of your account.
So
So I think
we're
it'll go
actually,
faster.
I was going to say, we're actually going to recommend that if you do go to Hoppapalooza, that you go ahead and download the app ahead of time, get
Yes,
yourself all set up, and no worries once you get there.
and we'll have a QR code on our Facebook page that they can open their account and they can preload it, and they're just ready to come in and start tasting beers.
Fantastic, fantastic. Jeffy, I was going to ask you a question. I know that, and my bad for not mentioning South Plains Brewing Company earlier. I'm actually going to go ahead and say that again. South Plains Brewing Company down in Malmö. I was going to ask you a little bit about. You had come out with alcoholfree with a
Yes,
beer, Noll.
yes.
I believe that you went ahead and released that in 2020, if I'm not.
Yeah, and I actually have 2 more now also.
Okay, so like Funky Land and an IPA.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay. Well, can you just go ahead and briefly, because I thought it was kind of interesting. I went in there. I saw the announcements when it went out. I saw when you went ahead and did it. We know that going to Systembolaget, that alcohol-free and non-alcoholic beverages are growing sections in the
Yes,
store.
yes,
Which is a fantastic option for people.
sure.
But what's the secret behind a good tasting non-alcoholic?
Okay, so when alcohol free first started, it was a byproduct of distillation. They would take off
Right.
the spirits, and what was left over was alcohol free beer. But it didn't taste all that good.
Yeah.
And then later on, they came out with these big machines that could pull the alcohol out. And then it tasted okay, but only giant companies could have them because they were a massive machine.
Right.
But then about 4 or 5 years ago, there was some new strains came out of some labs in Germany, in Berlin, VLB,
Yeah.
and also one in Bellisteffen. And they produce what they call a maltose negative yeast.
Maltose negative,
And
correct? Yeah.
it's neither a lager nor an ale, but kind of
Right.
something in the middle. And what it does is when you make beer, you produce 2 types of sugars, maltose and dextrose.
Right.
And maltose ferments out about 80%, and dextrose ferments out about 50%. So the
Okay.
residual sugars that's left in your beer, that's what gives you body. Okay,
Ah.
with the maltose negative yeast, it ferments and it eats the dextrose, but
Okay.
doesn't eat the maltose. So it's a little bit
Okay.
sweet and with body,
Right.
but it doesn't produce alcohol,
Okay.
but it produces beer-like flavors.
Yep. Okay. Okay.
And so you get a beer that's, I mean, the thing is with alcohol-free beers, to be honest, in beer, a lot of the flavor comes from alcohol.
Right.
And when you take it out, you can kind of tell, hey, there's something missing.
Sure.
But the new maltose negative strains, they're very good. And when I do it on an IPA, where I make it very bitter and lots of hops, you really can't even tell. All you got is this light, refreshing beer that you can drink all day and you don't get drunk.
Okay.
Let me just say this also. In 2022, it's not so popular for dads to be drunk anymore. Today dads have to have responsibilities. They got to take care of the kids. They take the kids to the park. They take them to school, and they wash and they cook and they do all this stuff. When I was growing up, dads were drunk all the time.
Okay, right.
And it's not that way anymore.
No.
It's not socially acceptable. I mean, it's kind of like smoking. When I came from California in '99, nobody smoked there anymore. But I came to Sweden and everybody smoked, and I was totally grossed out. And now nobody smokes. And cultures change.
Sure.
And you still go to down in Montenegro, it's kind of the old country, and hey, down there, dads are still drunk.
Okay.
And they're smoking everywhere. But that'll change over time. Culturally, it'll change.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're setting the standard. That's what.
We evolve.
Yeah.
And we finally look at something and we say, hey, we don't want to put those chemicals on our food, or we don't want to be drunk, or we don't want to smoke and get cancer. And it makes sense. But why does it take us so many years to evolve?
To go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
You and me both asking that question. But hey, is there any other exciting news from South Plains? You got something?
Oh, I brewed a Christmas beer yesterday. And it's I jacked up the alcohol a little bit to make it a little bit stronger, so it's going to be around between 8 and 10%. It's lightly spiced with. I cooked it with orange peels, and then I threw the sack of orange peels in the fermenter, and it's going to have vanilla, cinnamon, and ginger on it with the orange peels. So it's a dark ale, lightly spiced. It's very nice. It's the winter ale. I usually do it around 6%, but this year I'm doing a special strong edition.
Okay, help people get through that Swedish winter. Just to make sure.
Also, I've got a Funkyland Christmas beer coming out. It's called Le Feu Rouge, which is like the crazy red.
Right.
And it's a dark ale with cherries, fermented on cherries. And so it sucks all the cherry juice out of them. And so it's got a lot of cherry juice flavor. And then I did something different. I took dark chocolate malts and I put them in bags and I threw them in the fermenter like a dry hop.
Right.
Usually when you use dark chocolate malts, it will get a little bit of astringency in the mash. That's what's on a porter. But this one just gave a wonderful chocolate, dark color and chocolate flavor. And the chocolate and the cherries, it's kind of a sophisticated flavor on a sour beer, but it goes very well. It goes very well. So that's my Christmas beer. I've got 2 Christmas beers coming out, so I'm working on those. And
Yeah, now that you bring it up, I was going to ask you with what kind of tips do you have for people that are going to come and do beer tasting? Where do you start? Where do you begin? Is there an order?
Well,
method
first
to
of
the
all,
madness?
we're going to have at least 100 beers and maybe 150. So you actually can't taste them all unless you work in teams. And a lot of people do that. We have these beer teams that come and beer clubs. And they'll go around and they'll all get, of course, you got to be pretty close with your friends if you're going to be drinking out of the same glass. They'll go get like 10 guys will get 10 beers. And then each person will taste each of the beers, just a little sip. And then they'll make notes and they'll put it in their journals and they'll rate them and they'll take pictures of them and all this stuff. But I would say if it was me tasting, I would start light and go strong.
Okay.
That's how I always do it. Or, sours you can kind of squeeze in at any time, just rinse your palate. But if it was me, I would start with like the lighter beers and then finish with the heavier, stronger ones.
Sounds good. And to make sure they swing by the food truck before they start doing any of this testing.
Also, let me just say this, like a lot of the big beer whiskey festivals, it's mostly about middle-aged guys getting away from their wives to go and get drunk and drink store start. But Hoppapalooza is not like that. Hoppapalooza is more like a lot of tattooed hipsters, people that are into craft beer, that are into tasting. They go there, they taste a lot of beers, and then also most of the food is vegetarian.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And most of the beer festivals, it's large plates of pork and potatoes, and so it's just a totally different concept.
Nice. Well, we are definitely going to invite people out and down to go ahead and mark your calendar. That's coming up on the 27th. Also going to go ahead and tell people to go in and check out episode 123 that we did with Jeffrey to learn more about your adventure, what brought you over, the beginnings. There's some great fun information in there. And you'll be at the festival.
Yes, I'll be there. So if you want, come find me.
I was going to say, if you see, if
we can
see
say
Jeffrey
hello
there,
and
fantastic.
Thank
Jeffrey,
you very much for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Expats stick together, right? We're going to go ahead and make sure we get that out there. But Jeffrey, it's fantastic to see you. Best of luck with the event, and looking forward to keeping track of everything on social media and pictures and posts. And if people do want to get some more information about the festival, what do you recommend?
I would say our Facebook page is the most up to date.
Okay.
We also have a website, but website kind of gives you a lot of the general information. Sure. Facebook and Instagram give you the information of what's happening right now.
Okay. So we will go ahead and put a link wherever we post this to go ahead and make sure that people can find that. Best of luck. And I hope that we can do a follow-up and get some feedback maybe after you've recovered a couple weeks after the festival.
Thank you. Thank you. So, for Facebook, it's just Facebook/Hoppapalooza and Instagram /Hoppapalooza. Yeah.
Fantastic. There you go.
It's easy.
All right. We will definitely be in touch. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.